Alright guys, don't mind my hair's a little bit messy, so we're gonna wear a hoodie tonight. Okay. But this is a very anticipated review. I know you guys have been waiting for a few days. Before I start, as many of you know, next weekend, not this weekend, next weekend, I am in Philly for WrestleMania 40, so videos might be dry. I don't know if I'm gonna upload that much before I leave. We'll have a vlog when I get back. Thinking about doing some other things, not sure yet. But this movie, this month has been crazy for movies. So to start out, we had Dune Part 2, the beginning of March. Then we had Kung Fu Panda 4. And we had Ghostbusters. And out of all of those, and then we still have Godzilla and Kong. That will be out Thursday. Out of all of these, the big ones, right? A movie that was not on my radar whatsoever until about a month ago was a little movie made by Shudder called Late Night with the Devil. Now, this movie stars David Dastmalchian. I like him. I liked his roles in Batman and also in James Gunn's Suicide Squad. So I like him as an actor, especially him showing up in horror films is awesome. Love it. So in this little movie called Late Night with the Devil, the premise is really cool. So there's this like late night talk show host, and his talk show is called Night Owls. And basically, he is kind of competing with Johnny Carson to kind of be the top late night talk show host of the era it takes place, which is 1977. So it's like in the late 90s-ish. And so it kind of takes place, oh no, wait, no, it takes place in the 70s, sorry, not the 90s. It takes place in the 70s because the aesthetics and the vibe and the music are all 70s based. So it takes place in the 70s, and it's this late night talk show host called Johnny Carson. His ratings are plummeting, and on Halloween night, he decides to do something that will hopefully bring a lot of eyes and viewers to his talk show. And let's just say all hell breaks loose. So before we get into the review, there's been a little bit of controversy with this movie that apparently the director used AI art in a few images. And I just want to say, like, without kind of starting any type of argument on one side or another, I believe AR art is not a good thing. It's very scary. But when it helps people and it makes their jobs easier, I'm all for it. But in this case, they are ripping somebody off and taking away work from somebody who should be doing that job. And so I'm not okay with it. But if you're on either side of the spectrum, you shouldn't let this ruin your experience. So let's get into the good, the bad, the ugly, first of all. So the good, the positives on this is, well, there's not really any ugly in this. So there's going to be good, and then there's going to be like a few minor gripes I had. So the good in this is probably one of the most unique premises for a horror movie I've seen in a minute. This all takes place on a talk show, so the format is what you would usually see on like a Conan O'Brien, a Jimmy Fallon, a Jon Stewart, like those talk shows. So it takes place like in segments, and each segment they have with their different guests kind of furthers the plot and furthers the craziness going on and furthers what is going to happen at the end of the film. And David Desmalchin, he fits the vibe of a 70s talk show host so well, with like the way he speaks, his, like, if he needs to be scared, he just sounds like a great like talk show host. And this is just like, I don't think this is even a movie you have to see in theaters, because all talk shows usually people watch at TV or watch at home on the TV, and this like accurately describes it. So I think that was really cool for one. Another positive is some of the images and the effects are really creepy, and they get under your skin, especially the little girl. I want to give props to whoever played her. Even when she's not possessed, just the way she would stare at you, like, was really eerie and off and creepy. And it really builds a lot of tension. Even when she's not possessed, it builds a lot of tension because you're waiting to see what the heck's gonna happen. Overall, I enjoyed this movie a lot. This was just wow. This was completely blown away. I was blown away. My expectations were skyrocketed from not knowing anything about it to finding out about it a month ago. I think this checks all the boxes I want to see in a horror movie. It was unique. I've never seen this premise done before, and it was done flawless, maybe besides one thing that I'll get into in a minute. But yeah, this movie is great. I don't think you need to see it in theaters, as I reiterated though. But if you have free time, it's definitely worth a watch. So if you want to wait for Shudder, which it's coming to in about a month, I think, or if you want to go to the theaters to see it, but you definitely got to check this out. This wowed me. It was creepy with the visuals. It was very tense, and the story was actually very interesting and kept me engaged. So now we get into the small issue I have with this. It's not big, it's nothing huge. So in this film, you get the backstory of David Dastmalchian's character. I don't remember the talk show host's name, but you get the backstory of his character. And while it is good, while I feel like you get to find out a lot, I wish they would have spent a little more time on that. Because towards the end of the film, he's a big part of why all this crazy stuff is happening. And so I wish we would have spent a little more time with his character, kind of fleshing out his character arc. So when we get to the end of the film, we kind of know what is going on, right? What's happening. But yeah, I enjoyed that. I did enjoy it, but I wish it would have explained it a little more. The other stuff I'll say that was positives is the soundtrack, and the score for this is perfect. I think it fits the 70s. The aesthetic, the vibe, everything about this film fits a late night talk show from the 70s. You also got some really cool Easter eggs in there with like a mention of Ed and Lorraine Warren. You got up-to-date current pop culture in there, which is really actually cool. So yeah, this movie just blew me away. This might be, I'm gonna say this right now, I know it's still early, but this might be my best horror films of this year already. I just was completely blown away, completely just in awe of how good this really was. And so yeah, I think you should definitely go check it out, just for the sheer fact alone of how unique the premise is, because you're not going to see many horror movies that literally just take place on a late night talk show. I don't think you see any of those. It is so unique and so cool, and I like when studios and directors can take a horror movie and kind of put their own spin on it, and like put a unique feel and premise to it, to where like you've never seen this done in this way before, and it kind of captivates you. It draws your attention to it, and I was hooked the whole time in this film. And the visuals and the images, it's creepy. It's a creepy movie, but not only that, it's very tense, and it's very like immersive in a way. But yeah, you guys should definitely go check this out. probably on my best films of the year, horror-wise, and it's definitely worth a watch. So, yeah, Late Night with the Devil, you get a thumbs up. Anyway, till next upload, peace, love, positivity. See you guys.